Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the June 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, it helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at just general what's coming for June. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. So let's see here, pulling a summary card, again for that first column, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Space. So this means a couple different things. Sometimes when we see the Space card, this is an indicator that you feel like you've needed to take a step back and have some space, which is really important. Giving yourself the time and space to think. Sometimes space also means that you've felt a little disconnected the last few weeks. But let's see what messages we have coming through here. The first card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, and having lots of burdens. If you look at this person, they are like hunched over crying into this bundle, but they're carrying all these things, all of those burdens. So very much so a tired card, stressed, exhausted, having lots going on. The next card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a really great money card. This is about leaving a legacy, so it's very long term. As the Ten of Pentacles, this could also be retiring, so some of you could retire. That's really exciting. Congratulations if you did. But this also could be like a lump sum or inheritance. So it feels like there was some money moving or planning happening for you there. And then at the bottom we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, hard work, delayed success, waiting. If you look at this person, they planted these pentacles and now they're quite literally just sitting there watching them, waiting for them to grow. So there's something that you've been waiting for these last few weeks that may or may not, you could still be waiting for. But let's clarify and see what other messages we have here. First clarifying card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very hardworking, very patient. And it makes sense. I feel like sometimes those of us that are very hardworking Pisces do get kind of trapped in this situation where you're doing it all. So the Knight of Pentacles is validating how hard you've been working. You're also like patiently waiting for things to ease up and get better as you're in this kind of stressed and exhausted state. The next card that we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of friendship. It's also celebration. So I feel like for those of you retiring again, that was majorly celebrated. For those of you maybe that got a lump sum through like a court settlement, that was celebrated. So whatever this long-term money type move was, it was definitely a celebration worthy moment. Then at the bottom here we have the Devil card. The Devil card is a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. And I think what's sticking out here is obsession, that some of you have been very focused on this thing that hasn't happened. And it's very bothersome that this thing hasn't happened, that you've had to be waiting for it. So this card is really just coming through expressing like how focused or how much energy you've given to this waiting. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is general, what's coming for June for you, Pisces. We have the card Repetition. Repetition, again, has a couple different meanings. One of those meanings is like repetition is one of the ways that we get really, really good at something. So sometimes this means you need repetition. On the other hand, though, sometimes this means that there's too much repetition. You're kind of stuck in that rut of the same thing all the time. But let's clarify. Let's take a look at what messages we have coming through under that card for you. The first card that we have is the Hermit. The Hermit is about going within for clarity. You see this light inside the lantern. This is the light that's inside of you, Pisces. And it's about making sure that you are feeling good, that like you're living your own personal quest, you're living your personal truth, that you're on your path. So throughout the month of June, do make sure you're checking in with yourself. Is this what you want? Is this how you should be feeling? Is this accomplishing what you want to accomplish long term? So really going within to make sure it's what you want. The next card that we have is the Death card. The Death card absolutely doesn't mean death, but it does indicate big changes, endings. It's that indicator that it's time to move on. It's that transformation into something new. So you see the sun poking through in the background there. It's that very bright, beautiful thing that's on the other side of this transformation. Likely you're going to be doing like some check and adjust, pivoting, because you're going to find that you're not quite aligned. You're not quite feeling it on the inside, and it's going to trigger this transformation. The next card that we have is the Empress. The Empress is a really wonderful card no matter where we have it in the reading. It's a card of creation. It's a card of abundance, both really wonderful things. It's also a card of pregnancy and fertility. So for those of you hoping to grow your family, this is a really wonderful card for you. But as you check in with yourself and transition into this position, putting yourself back on your path, you're going to unlock this creativity and this abundance. Unlocking abundance. Good thing to do. The next card we have, or excuse me, our first clarifying card here is the World card. The World card is the last card of the major arcana. It's quite literally the world going full circle. It's a completion of a goal or a lesson. It could also indicate travel for some. But what I'm seeing is like you've accomplished what you thought you set out to accomplish, and now it's looking for that next thing. It's taking that next step. It's again making sure you're still on the path. So you're at this really natural point of needing to reflect. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is great wherever we have it in the reading. It's a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. I think as you navigate through all of this, money surely will not be an issue for you, Pisces. Great money card, but it's interesting when we talk about self-sufficiency. Just because you're self-sufficient doesn't mean you will be alone or will be dependent on yourself, but you'll become more independent and self-sufficient as we navigate through this transition as well. Then at the bottom we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a very curious card. It's a very gossipy card, drama. It can even be like water cooler talk. This is like people kind of trying to spy on your business, or it's like prying eyes. When I tell people when I see this card, I typically take it as a warning as to like not engage in water cooler talk, not engage in gossip or drama. Just kind of keep to yourself and avoid any of those side conversations. If you like share what you're working on, it could prohibit you from achieving exactly what you want with the Empress. So just keep that in mind, that if you can, steer clear of that kind of gossip or drama that's circling around this month. The next column that we have, Pisces, is our money column. So think anything money, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Again, anything money. The first card we have is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is a card of having to make a decision. So I do see that there will be a decision for you coming as it relates to money or job this month. Of course, we're going to clarify and see what other kind of detail I can give you there. The next card we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very healing, very supportive. Kind of jumping ahead to the next card down there, there seems to be some conflict that needs to be worked through this month as it relates to your work. That Five of Wands is rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I do explain these though as small bumps in the road, because if you look at this card, these people are fighting with wands, not fighting with swords. But it does feel like there's something that needs to be corrected or resolved or healed as it relates to work. And you very well may have to proactively be the one making that decision with that Two of Swords at the top. But let's see here, see what other messages I can give you. First card that we have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is, again, not the best relationship. So similar to the Five of Wands, but not quite. This is like bully, theft, violence, abusive, some sort of not good relationship. And again, I keep getting the message that you have to make the decision to correct this. For whatever reason, the ball is in your court to make the decision to step in and fix this tension that's happening with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. The next card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card with many meanings, but this is a card of like apathy or feeling unfulfilled. And it makes sense if you're in this position where like a relationship is off, or there's like contention or like bumps in the road going on, that can lead to low feelings around work. And again, that Queen of Cups is that healing, supportive, nurturing. I feel like you have to take action to heal this in order to get away from these kind of lower feelings that you're feeling towards work right now, Pisces. The next card that we have is the Chariot. The Chariot is a card, as somebody once described it to me as the vroom vroom card. It means there's action, there's change, you're being on a journey. And you could possibly be newer to this job too. I feel like you're still figuring each other out, how you work well, what works, what doesn't work. So this is like a progressive, it's moving forward though. So you will definitely have benefits and better days of having this conversation and resolving any conflict that you could be feeling. Worth pointing out as well, the Chariot can also be an indicator of a new vehicle. So since we are in the money column, the investment column, some of you could be getting a new car in the month of June as well. Now taking a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. Think family, friends, relationships, children, again, anything that you associate with love. The first card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very domestic type card. Also a great card for fertility. So for those of you hoping to expand your family or have more children, this is a great card for pregnancy and fertility. This can also be an indicator of like an engagement or a marriage. So both, all good things as it relates to relationships there. The next card that we have is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of rest, retreat, renewal, recovery. It's kind of tired. I don't know that you're burnt out in a relationship, but you're feeling kind of tired in general, Pisces, so do keep that in mind. There's just tired energy coming around. We're going to clarify that and see what other messages I can give you. That's really about resting, retreating, recovering, giving yourself that kind of quiet time. Then at the bottom here we have the King of Wands. This is a very bold card. It's very powerful, very charming, very courageous. For those of you that are entering into a new relationship, these are really coming through as traits that you'll see in this new person. They'll have a very bold personality. They'll likely have a leadership type role, some sort of role of power, but they are very charming. This also could be an existing relationship to these being the traits of your partner. Let's clarify this column though again and see what messages I can give you. The first card we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastering your craft and enjoying your employment. I know that seems silly to have in this column, but there's something to be said about like enjoying a relationship too, and that's how this message is coming through. Like if you're entering into a new relationship, this is like figuring each other out. And for those of you that are in a relationship, either having children or getting engaged, getting married, this is like saying you have figured each other out. You've like mastered each other, which is a really great energy surrounding it. So interesting pairing of cards, but came together nicely for our love column. The next card that we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. It's interesting because the Four of Swords is saying you need to renew, and the Star card is saying you did renew. So I'm actually glad to see this pairing together, because anytime we have a lower energy card, we always want to make sure that there is something better coming. We want to see that positive shift. So I'm really glad to see this kind of positive shift for you. So getting into the month, I would say that a lot of you are feeling tired. You have that Four of Swords type energy. But throughout the month of June, the Star card is going to come into play and help raise your spirits, which is wonderful. And then at the bottom here, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient, very honest. When I see this card, it's a good reminder to make sure that you take private time away from your friends, your family, your relationships, and do have some you time. That'll be important as you rest and recover with the cards mentioned above. But this is also a communication card. So with the Queen of Swords, this is being open, being honest, and communicating what you want from the relationships. Whether this is a new relationship or an existing relationship, communication is key. So make sure that you are speaking up about what you want, don't want, how you feel, all of those things. Now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Clarity. Oops, sorry. Clarity is always good. We get more and more clarity every single day, but this is an indicator that I think you are going to get some pretty significant clarity going into the month of June. But let's see what messages we have for you here. Okay. The first card that we have is the World card. The World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. It's again that completing of a lesson or completing of a goal. The World has come full circle on the World card. This also could be a card of travel, but this feels like you're completing and moving on to something new. The next card that we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very traditional card. It's very conventional. It's about expectations and conformity. And I am getting the feeling that this new chapter is not going to be anything like you've experienced before. Again, you have this kind of like traditional and conventional way that things have happened to this point, or your thought process to this point. But with the World and the ending and this clarity coming in, this is going to be different expectations than you've had before, different traditions than you've had before. We're lacking or lessening some of that conformity that you felt previously. Then at the bottom, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of giving or receiving help. It's a very generous card. The message that's coming through here is keep an open heart. And again, I don't know what that is saying or why, but that is the message I'm hearing, is keep an open heart. Let's clarify this column though and see what other messages I can give you here. The first card that we have is the Empress. The Empress is a card of creation. We've had the Empress in here. There she is. The Empress again is that card of creation, abundance, which is wonderful to see. Again, we're talking about you're closing a chapter and you're going into a new chapter. So it's going to be a very abundant chapter for you, which we love to see. Again, pregnancy and fertility. This could be the ending of not having children and the beginning of having children. But good card there. The next card we have is the Eight of Wands, and this is a card of speed, action, quick change. And again, we were talking about how this is just going to be different than what you've experienced in the past. This isn't like your old expectations or your old way of doing things. In this new chapter, now the World is closed and we're going into a new chapter, things are just going to be different. There's going to be a change here. Then at the very bottom, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. The Ace of Cups is typically new baby, relationship, marriage, proposal. Conveniently enough, I literally just told you, make sure you keep your heart open, and now we're saying these are all the things your heart should be open to. A baby, a relationship, a proposal, a marriage. In general, very, very broad speaking, keep your heart open to anything new. Now at this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, that's okay. You can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Queen of Clubs. This is the number 40 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the King of Clubs. This is the number 50 card. That's going to be a yes. And for question number 3, we have the King of Spades. This is number 47 card. That's going to be a yes. So yes, yes, yes for you. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. This is a crystal for you to keep throughout the month of June. Keep it in your pocket, put it on your nightstand, put it on your desk at work. You have rock crystal, which is clear quartz. It's very good for clarity, purity, energy. It helps things like go your way, and it gives you your aim in life. And last but not least, we're going to pull a healing note. Your healing note says, never hurry, get plenty of exercise, always be grateful, get all the sleep you need, expect to be well. Thank you so much, Pisces, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you, Pisces, and have a wonderful June.